But yeah, like I saw this Kizaru thinking that, and obviously look at the flashback and them eating together, doing the Nika dance, and I think they're like gearing up for a Kizaru turnaround. But I was just I just saw the lines and I was like, dude, you did this, bro.
True. I mean, there's no way about it. I mean, you kick Nani all the way down.
Actions, ain't that?
Yeah, literally.
Exactly. Oh man.
Ain't that something?
俺はルフィ海賊王になる男だ
Welcome to the Strawhat Sitdown. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to the channel. What is going on, guys? It is your boy Cali Mac on the track. Never whack, bring it back, and we are back with Strawhat Sitdown, episode 94. Woo!
Ooh.
Yeah.
Let's go. 94.
Yo, I need a. You know what I need? I need to get a sound alert with an applause. Cause we definitely, yeah. See, I appreciate you, Mister. You the go. He hit the little fake applause. I appreciate you, brother. We gonna make that happen. I am here with the crew as usual. You feel me? Strawhat in the building. What is going on, brother?
Nothing much. This chapter came out like, what has it been? 2 weeks now, or no, a week ago? But I'm finally hyped to talk about it finally. So yeah, let's get into it.
Yes. This chapter was peak. If it was up to me, this chapter would be number one on our list last week. But we had to deal with some what's the word I'm looking for?
Some shenanigans, like semantics. You got hold, man.
Yeah, semantics because the chapter technically released this year, so we couldn't count it last year. But
yeah, man. There's no such thing as fighting fair in a pirate fight, bro.
Yeah, that's so real. I should have just put that shit there anyway.
It definitely would have been number one. It definitely would have been number one.
You were tweeting it. We couldn't control it. Like, it's up to you, bro.
You kind of spit. All right. Mr. G in the building. What's going on, my brother?
What's good, y'all? Yo, shout outs to my boys Kevin and JJ. They lost their dog Russell today, so rest in peace. At least he's up there with my dog Bella, so if you got love you guys and here for you guys whenever you need. And on bright news, I was able to finally get this Gear 5 pins. I know I sent you guys pictures, so I'm gonna do a quick show you guys real quick the 5 pins that came in.
Yeah, okay.
All Gear 5.
These are so sick.
Muscle form. And then yesterday, luckily enough, I was able to find a box of the One Piece card game Wave 5 deck with Luffy, Gear 5 on it. The American. This shit's been fucking hard to find. So definitely be on the lookout for the treasure trove on that, bro.
Ooh,
so
I'm unboxing? Ooh.
Yeah.
Like
yes, we are.
You guys subscribe to the YouTube to check that out. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Definitely check that out.
All right. Alrighty. Last but not least, that boy YHuss in the building. What is going on, my brother?
I'm chilling, man. I am absolutely vibing, bro. I haven't really been up to too much, just grinding. Good guys are, I went to a month yesterday, played a new character, Soul, and I beat a guy in a mirror match with his own character. I felt a bit sick. I'm not gonna lie.
Ooh, that's disgusting. My goodness.
I was gonna go 0-2, bro. So I'm chilling, man. I had a great weekend, bro. I'm absolutely vibing. Yeah, this chapter's a banger, so I'm ready to talk.
Yeah.
There's like a lot to talk about too. Like there's so many angles and stuff.
Yeah. We definitely gotta get a nice little deep dive in, and I kind of like that we had a little extra week to fester on the chapter, because normally we read the chapter Thursday, Friday, whatever, and then we come right in here a few days later to talk about it. But that extra week of shifting through the community's responses and maybe doing a second, third read of the chapter, I think it helps. This helps get the thoughts going. You know what I mean?
It definitely does.
So definitely interested to got a lot of stuff to talk about.
And I think it dropped on Friday, the newest chapter.
It did. So it's been like
right.
It dropped a weekend some days ago.
Yeah.
Unofficial anyway.
No. I mean officially it dropped this past Friday. It didn't drop on Sunday like it normally.
Yeah.
Normally
A few days ago. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get into that. Real quick before we do though, we did get some really cool One Piece news. We were talking about it a little bit before we started, so we'll talk about it a little bit here. One Piece is still in collabs with Netflix, and they will now be showing the Egghead arc episodes on a weekly basis on Netflix, which is I think extremely huge.
Huge.
I don't think Netflix does many, if any, series weekly. I know a majority of their releases are just released all at once.
I know they did with Vinland Saga, right? They did.
Yeah,
They were
like
releasing that weekly. Like,
I think the big anime that have like other studios like Vinland, Demon Slayer, like they'll get weekly releases, but like, and obviously One Piece is obviously something that Toei does right now. So yeah, I guess it falls in that vein of like the bigger anime are gonna get that.
Yeah,
so in my experience.
No, that's fair. I wasn't 100% sure, but yeah, no, it's definitely really big news. We know One Piece and Netflix will probably have a long-standing relationship after the success of the live action, and this is definitely a step in a big step in the right direction for bringing One Piece to the mainstream.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely looking forward to it.
Definitely amplify it even more, because the thing is, I know recently they released Marineford on Netflix, so there's still a ways away before it's completely caught up. But I like that tweet said, Callie, like you said, like, I feel bad for the people that gotta watch the Marineford and then go straight into this, and they're like, "What the fuck?" Like,
yeah, it sucks because they definitely end on Marineford right now, because One Piece has been on Netflix for a while and they've been updating it every couple of months or so with another arc or two.
Yeah, they made it seasonally. They made it easier for like people that are just getting into it that always said, "Hey, it's too long." Well, Netflix only released 100 episodes.
Right.
People, you could get through that easily, and now, whatever Marineford is at, what, 400?
Yeah, I think about 400, 500, something like that.
Yeah.
I just gotta say, it's probably the greatest time to be a One Piece fan, just because, like, and we talked about this before, but there's so many ways now to get into One Piece, and there's even more in the future coming with Wit Studios reanimate. Like, oh my goodness,
Netflix is working on that too. So like, that's another thing that Netflix is working on with Oda. Like, it's crazy how like Netflix is like, oh shit, like, let's get in on this.
Yeah, remember 10 years ago, even 5 years ago, when like our best ways of getting people into One Piece was through Toei, Funimation, anime or whatever, and then you either had the manga and that was pretty much it. And then like they started creating like the One Piece fans started creating like One Piece. Yeah, like it's just that was like pretty much it for the most part. And then now we got all these different ways that people can experience it from every angle under the sun. So I'm very happy.
Mr. I know you're on the Twitter account. You've probably seen a guy retweet our pod, Mr. Argentix. Like, I met this dude. He runs some of our weeklies here in Ottawa.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I noticed so I met him for the first time like in December. I'm like, yo, nice to meet you. Thanks for taking TO and all that stuff. But then I realized, so I followed him on Twitter. He followed me, and then he started retweeting the pod, and I was like, wait a second. I saw him yesterday. I was like, bro, are you a One Piece fan? And he's like, dude, I watched live action. Now I'm 400 episodes in. I'm like, that's how it goes, man.
That's so sick. That's so sick, man.
So yeah, I assume he doesn't watch. Obviously, he's not caught up, but we appreciate the retweet every time. And
always, yes, sir.
But yeah, dude, it's fitting, man. There's so many ways to get into it, bro. Dude, and I know it's not a live action episode, but he said something so interesting that because he was in Thriller Bark and he was like, yeah, it's a bit slow, which I understand. But he's saying, but it's cool because I love the Straw Hats. That's what I'm here for. And and then we talked about how the live action changed a lot of stuff because he rewatched from episode 1 when he finished live action. And what's the draw? The big thing they changed, they made the Straw Hats more of a unit earlier on. It's such a good change. Man, One Piece is so good, bro. There's so many ways to get into it. Like, man, it's so good, bro.
Yeah, that's funny, bro. Because my little cousin, he came over and he was like, he got into One Piece. He caught up, and he knows I love One Piece. And then I told him about the sit down, and he's like, oh, I saw one of the clips in TikTok, and he's like, I've seen it. He's like, I've seen this before. And like, I think it was actually like our intro video because that one had 11,000 views, and he saw it and he was like, yo, like, that's crazy. And then he started following us. Now like every week he hits me up like asking me questions about One Piece and what I thought. So yo, shout out to you, Jaden. Like that was pretty cool.
That's sick, bro.
Yeah.
More people to share this greatness with, man.
Wrote One Piece.
Absolutely.
Oh man.
Yeah, so look out for that Egghead episode coming next week. So if you're caught up on the manga, you got Netflix, might as well check it out.
That's crazy. Now we got 2 ways to watch it, like officially.
Yeah, officially, Crunchyroll and this. Definitely cool. I guess, but yeah.
well, Funimation or whatever.
Funimation, yeah, whichever
yeah.
one. I get all these companies confused, man. They all the same.
Yeah. I feel it.
Yeah, but we do have a chapter to get into. We did have the unofficial drop a week ago, but the official just dropped on Friday. So now that we have that, we're gonna do our regular chapter review. Are you guys ready? Did any of you guys read the official?
I read the official, yeah. There was
No,
like
let's
one
count
big
on
change,
YHuss.
I think.
All right.
Appreciate that.
Sorry.
Yeah, there's only like one big change I think that I can think of. So
all right, so you can point it out when we get there.
Yeah.
Let's get into it. I got the stream up. You guys can see.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's do it. Chapter 1103. I'm sorry, Daddy. We start this chapter with Bonnie just finishing the flashback with her father. We have Vegapunk asking if Bonnie saw everything. She says she did, and then she breaks down in Vegapunk's arms, reverts back to kid form, and apologizes. I think this is one of the most beautiful pages of the chapter.
I absolutely agree, bro.
Possibly of the arc. When it started with this, it hit me in the chest. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
Because you know how Bonnie's been acting to Vegapunk this whole time. So for her to see how good of a guy Vegapunk was and how nothing was really his fault or Kuma's fault in the first place, like, you can tell how much regret she really feels. And I think this was just a beautiful breakdown.
Great.
Yes.
Absolutely.
We also see Vegapunk give Bonnie a piece of jewelry, a necklace. Kuma says that it is a present for her 10th birthday. It's a necklace that's supposed to be shaped like a sun, and Vegapunk said that it's supposed to be a good luck charm for her.
And it's also made out of sapphire, just like the sapphire scales she had.
Just like the sapphire scale. I assume that this played a role in what happens at the end of the chapter, but I don't know if y'all want to wait until then.
I mean, honestly, we can talk about it now, just because like I always go back to like the chapter that Kuma like starts running, because I think the big question about Kuma and his whole like rampage to Egghead is like, how did he know Bonnie was in trouble? I think we probably talked about it like 5 times by now.
Yeah, it's definitely one of our biggest mysteries so far.
Yeah.
And in that chapter, it's the only things I could think of is it's when CP0 decides to get on the island. So you see them say that like, oh, Julie Bonnie is also on the island, and then Lucci says she's fulfilled our purpose. We can terminate her on site. The only thing I can think of is that the S-Bear was there and he heard that, and maybe there's some link. But actually, that's also the chapter that Vegapunk says, I have to give something to Bonnie. And he's talking about the necklace.
Yeah.
So maybe it's like some sort of alert system. I saw a sick comment, actually. This reminds me, I calculated and write it down, that maybe it alerts when the Navy or like a social dragon or a Gorosei is near. I don't know how that would happen, but I thought that was pretty interesting. So yeah, the necklace and S-Bear were in that chapter, so that's the only thing I can think of when Kuma starts running.
The necklace was in that chapter?
Vegapunk references it for the first time. He says, I have something to give her.
Something to give her, okay, but not the actual. And we also have to remember that this is a flashback to the day in the past, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Because Bonnie meets up with them after she sees the flashback or whatever.
Yep.
If... Oh, go ahead, mister.
I was just gonna say, like, I know there was a change from the one OP scans that they messed up on to TCB that we talked about. I know. But I remember. No, he's not. But I remember they had mentioned, like, Dragon had mentioned something about a chip of like a type of memory chip or instinct chip. That's what it was. And I thought when I read that, we'll get to that part later. But I thought when I read that, I thought this was it. You know what I mean? Like a fragment or whatever. There's something like that alerted Kuma, and that's why he came, and like this will help unlock an instinct, like, his other side of him or something like that. But that ended up being wrong in TCB. I haven't read the official yet, so
we'll get to the official. Basically, they use he's like, he says a fragment of his instinct, kind of talking about like what's left of his mind. That's all he was saying. They kind of flipped that shit.
Okay.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Mark.
I I was just gonna say, what if it's just simply like I was just thinking like maybe Vegapunk. I don't know if there's like some type of hidden switch or mechanism in the necklace, and when he said that, he said that I have something to give to Bonnie. Maybe he activated it, and then Kuma came.
That's when he started, like lit up, maybe.
Yeah, and maybe his program is that he just protects whoever wears the necklace. It could be just something that simple. And then finally, I mean, so he was going to make his way to Egghead either way because the necklace is there. And then later on, Vegapunk gave the necklace to Bonnie so that, you know, when Kuma gets there, he can protect her.
That was kind of align with what YHuss said, is that the necklace didn't necessarily activate due to close proximity of Bonnie, but maybe an outside for an exterior force like the Gorosei or the Marines or something like that.
Maybe, but it doesn't. The thing about it is, it doesn't rely on Bonnie. It relies on whoever's wearing the necklace. Because Vegapunk, either way, that necklace was on Egghead, and so when he said that, and he, you know, whatever activated it, whatever, if there's a hidden mechanism in it, then, you know, Kuma will be going to Egghead either way. It's just like at some point later, he was able to give it to Bonnie, so, you know, there's a definitive target for Kuma to go to instead of it being Vegapunk or at the spot where the necklace was when he activated it or whatever.
Yeah, I'm 50-50 on the necklace. I'm not gonna lie. I'm 50-50 on it.
I think I like Mod the point about how, like, maybe that's how he knew exactly where Bonnie was on the island right now in the second now that she has this. I like that a lot. But yeah, honestly, the question that we simply do not have the answer to is how did he become aware that there's a problem that he needs to fix? You know, we'll just hopefully Oda will answer that later on.
Yep.
That's true.
Ain't nothing to it but to wait.
What if, real quick, what if there's some 2Ps? What if it had actually it goes off like against Saturn right now and like it weakens him or some shit like that? You know, like it's something that Vegapunk made to like.
I think it would have been went off though, right? Because she was about to die like 3 different times in this chapter.
This is true. This is true. So, but you know, maybe she got to set it up. I don't know, but like it would be crazy if like Vegapunk like this whole time was like, you thought, you know, you were a scientist. You thought I couldn't pass one off on you.
Yeah.
But I did. You know, like so.
I do see that. I think Vegapunk gets the upper hand at some point, whether it's with maybe whatever is drawing Kuma to the island, or maybe regaining some sort of his consciousness. I think Vegapunk does get the upper hand at some point before the arc is over Saturn.
He's good. Hell yeah, bro.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's keep it going. So yeah, he gets Vegapunk gives her the necklace. He talks about how shocked he is that Strawhat and her end up here together. He says that he's going to catch Bonnie up on everything that we still don't know about, and we still don't know anything either, so we're still in the dark. And yeah, Bonnie, with all the information she has now, places all her blame, anger, and rage on Saturn, as she should, because he's a jerk.
You're a jerk. I know. You're a jerk.
He's beyond a jerk, man. He's
not a good person. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Saturn tells Bonnie her father's dead. Everybody's still stuck down, pinned down by Saturn's unknown power. Luffy is still out of commission. He's asking for food. Atlas is stuck. Sentomaru's kidnapped. Kizaru is out of commission, at least seemingly, but he does make note of Sentomaru and Bonnie in trouble. He almost says it in a worried sense.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, because he just heard them saying, like, people yelling out Bonnie's name. Because he's not watching it, right? He's just laying down. And then he hears the code that Sentomaru's been captured also. So he's like, oh, shit. Like, yeah, no, that's a good point, Callie.
Well, honestly, I saw this and I was like, dude, you kicked Bonnie off the fucking lab. Like,
right.
And you cooked Sentomaru yourself. What do you think they was going to do? Like,
part of me thought that might have has been the thing that set off Kuma, but that wouldn't that doesn't make sense because he
it was
wouldn't
way
need more
later.
time. Yeah, it was way
way
later.
later,
So
Yeah. But yeah, like I saw this Kizaru thinking that, and obviously look at the flashback and them eating together, doing the Nika dance, and I think they're like gearing up for a Kizaru turnaround. But I was just I saw the lines and I was like, dude, you did this, bro.
True. I mean, there's no way about it. I mean, you
look,
kick
it's the
Bonnie all the
consequences of
way
my
down.
own actions, ain't that?
Literally.
exactly. Oh man.
Ain't that something?
Oh no.
Oh shit.
So on the next part of the page, we're getting. I'm not 100% sure what's going on here. Is this other parts of the world?
This is outside. It's the Navy people outside.
The first panel is the Navy people. Yeah, they're saying like.
I know. Yeah. Okay. The first panel is the Navy people. I was talking
and then
about
next,
the two under. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't recognize them though. I don't think we've seen these places before.
I mean, they're reading the. I thought
paper.
this was the outside world because
it absolutely.
They're reading the paper, and I thought this was just different factions, like commenting on it, saying like, "Oh, the Emperor evolved," and
just showing us the gravity that is the Egghead situation because it's saying like, "Oh, a siege bigger than Ohara," like that's crazy.
I just didn't think that news was released until whatever the big incident that's supposed to happen happens. News was released, but I guess it's being released on a more current basis.
Remember, it's been a day, right? So like, because there was a time skip that like we don't know what happened, and Morgan is in that area, so he was probably like, "Yo, get this shit out now!" Like just fucking.
And if you guys remember, in the Garp, after the Garp thing, it ends with Garp going missing, and that's what the papers say. And then in that same paper, it says that like Luffy is holed up in Egghead, like under siege.
Okay,
yeah.
You're right.
And what's his face even commented on it. Saturn. Wasn't he reading the paper and was like, "Oh,
that's the paper that Kizaru brought him with the tea in the beginning of this whole thing."
Right.
Great
that's the paper that these guys are reading, and I would also assume that. No, never mind. No, that's the paper that they're reading. Okay. We then cut to Revolutionary HQ where we see Dragon reacting not to the news, but pondering on where Kuma could have possibly gone since this is the island that he first.
This is actually another big change, by the way. But continue, just read the whole thing, and it's at the end.
Kuma asks Ivankov where does he think Kuma would go. Ivankov says he'd go to Marmariwa. But Dragon says Kuma's different. I think he'll.
That last part is not in TCP, right? Like he doesn't like posit where he might have gone. I think, if I'm not mistaken.
No, this is where he said I took a picture of that shit. He fucking talked about the fucking instinct fragment or something like that.
Yeah, that was in OP scans, and it's and you can see the first thing he says in this translation, some fragment of his true instincts. So it seems like they took that and like kind of fucked it up in a lot of ways.
Oh shit!
Scans.
Okay.
Because instant fragment makes it sound like some noun that we've supposed to have heard about it before.
Like it's an actual thing, right?
So okay, I actually have the translations for all of them. So now that I have the official up, because I took a picture of OP scans and TCB. So OP scan says if Kuma started going after the instinct fragment, where do you think he would have gone, or would go?
Jesus Christ.
Right. So that's why it made me think that instinct chip was the thing that fucking that
actual device,
Vega gave to Bonnie, because they show that in the beginning, right? And then TCB says, assuming there's a trace of Kuma in there, where would his instincts take him? Eva.
TCB, damn, I really gotta start just sticking to TCB. That's crazy.
You guys, bro, stop reading OP scan.
I'll read it as many times as I want. So this one says, if Kuma is running off with some fragment of his true instincts, where do you think he'll go? Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, so TCB is definitely way closer to the mark. OP scans made it seem like it was an actual device, or
all the time. It's so bad.
That's why I was like, oh shit, it's got to be the thing that fucking Vegapunk gave Bonnie, like that because why would Oda show that in the beginning? You know what I mean? Like, so that's why I thought it was the whole thing, but clearly that is not the case.
But ignoring those amateurs,
TCB.
TCB.
Real quick, is OP? Is OP scans on fraud watch for you, or have they hit the
watch, bro? To be a fraud, you have to have expectations to be good in the first place, bro.
Damn! Oh no!
Them niggas are ass. Niggas only read them because they come out first. That's their whole thing. I'm sorry.
Oh no,
guys! I actually, like, if I'm being candid, I mean, I'm already ranting, bro. I don't know how you guys read OP scans. Like when One Piece is like this sacred thing that we have to understand. You know, we come here every week to try to break it down, and you guys read that translation. I don't get it, but
Well, bro, I'm reading all 3 translations though. How you gonna get on me about that?
no,
Now
I
we
respect
get
it. I
to the
respect it. I
perspectives.
respect it.
Like I'm literally breaking by reading this shit. This is causing you to go off. Like,
Oh no, you know,
I got proof right here, bro.
YHuss to me remind me, he's like the prophet. He's like the One Piece prophet. He's like, how dare y'all go away to this sacrilege of a Bible?
This is blasphemous, man. Blasphemous.
Yeah, that's really how I feel. But Mister, like, because bro, Mister, you only gain the fact that you read it quicker. It gets to you quicker. Like honestly, TCB is the better one, and then the official fixes TCB sometimes. I'm not gonna say TCB is perfect either. They fuck up a lot. Like they do a lot of flowery language for no reason.
Yeah.
OP scans just like it's bro.
That was a different thing because it had me believe in something else.
My nigga, that one was egregious. But
Yeah,
my nigga, they be having like we're not here to talk about them. But all I wanted to bring up was that in TCB, it doesn't seem like Ivankov or Dragon have a suggestion of where he might go. But in this official one, it ends with I think he'll ... So they have an idea, according to the official, of where he might go. Probably.
Oh, and then yeah, but Kuma's different. Yeah, that is so different because and not just that, but the next panel that on OP scans it says so Kuma was wrong after all. What the fuck does that mean?
So
like,
let's stop talking about it.
I'm telling you, I don't know how we keep talking. We don't gotta bring these things up. They trash.
That's all right.
But yeah, it's a big change. They might have an idea. Maybe that means they might pull up at the end. Who knows?
Damn, it kind of shows that Dragon is kind of a fraud, bro. Because how are they not like, oh, of course he's going after Bonnie. Like that's all Kuma's ever wanted to do since we've known him is save fucking Bonnie. Why would he
I mean, I don't think they know much about like what happened to him after he left.
They were left in the dark.
And
I don't know.
And I think I think they only kind of know that he has a daughter. I think Sabo was surprised it was Bonnie, right? When he met her at Marijua.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think he kept it all private too.
Yeah, a lot of it was private.
Dragon knew. That's what I'm not like.
But Dragon knew he had a daughter and what her condition was. I don't know if he made the connection. Oh, that's Jewelry Bonnie. That's Kuma's daughter. You know what I mean? Like in the present.
That's not what I'm saying though. I'm saying
you're right.
That he as his boy should have known that he's going after to save his daughter. That's why this dude is fucking like just going off. You know what I mean? Like. I feel like he could have gone after him, but they show like no one's going after them, which is crazy.
How do you chase him when you don't know exactly where he's going, bro? That nigga teleports, bro, basically.
And then on top of
that's
that,
true.
And again, YHuss said it. They haven't made the connection. I don't think that Bonnie is Kuma's daughter. Yeah, because here's the thing: if I was like, if I would not suspect that my 12-year-old daughter is a pirate. I just wouldn't.
That is also true. She's fucking 12.
That is true.
She's a 12-year-old in canonic times, and so the thing that's going on with Bonnie, even if Bonnie is mentioned in the paper right now as someone that's on siege with Egghead, there's no reason for them to think like, oh,
that's Kuma's daughter.
Kuma's daughter's in trouble.
We're super surprised when she was like, "Don't hurt my daddy." When
that's true. You're right.
Yeah. So there is zero reason for the revolutionaries to put 2 and 2 together, unless the deductive skills are like Sherlock Holmes tier or something like that. Like, but other than that, there's no reason for them to think like, oh, Kuma's going to Egghead to save his daughter. Like, it's just that's a lot of connections that they just haven't. That a lot of people have not made yet.
And don't get it confused. I still think Dragon is a fraud. I'm still got Dragon on Fraud Watch. But,
oh no, Callie, no.
For this particular reason, I will give him a pass. I do think he's going on Fraud Watch though.
Oh no!
I gotta see my boy in some action sooner or later.
It's understandable. I'm not gonna lie.
I just would have liked we could have seen some of Dragon's powers like following Kuma or some shit like that, like him flying some shit like that, going after him.
Oda is saving Dragon.
Yeah, he is.
He's saving him for something crazy because we've seen a majority of the hidden background powerful characters in the past in the story. We've seen a majority of them in action.
That's true.
At least a little bit.
At least a little bit. He's saving Dragon for something insane.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so Bonnie is still in Saturn's clutches right now. She says, if I'm gonna die, I might as well take you with me, and tries to hit, she does her distorted future Nika ability, like she did to the CP0 agent way back when on the island. But the punch just bounces directly off of Saturn, and she makes a remark that she's getting weaker.
Yep.
Hey,
go ahead.
I just had a quick question. That punch, is that just gear 3rd? Because I was talking with someone about this. They think it might be gear 4th because of how it looks. Where when Luffy contracts his fists,
like a spring,
or whatever.
Yeah.
I think it's just her idea of it being rubber.
Yeah. I think that's what it is too.
I also think it looks like the cuff of her arm. Like just her wrist, like
I think she does have cuffs on her wrist. I can't. 100%.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah. She's holding.
Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure, because I'm like, I know it. I don't feel like that's gear 4th, but okay. But
I can see that being the case though. I can see that being the case.
That's fair.
So I know we said we weren't gonna mention those scans again, but this was another change because in that scan, the first scan,
dog shit.
they didn't mention Nika. Nika at all.
She didn't say Nika.
She didn't say Nika. Like it was just
and then this nigga
sort of
is
future.
Like, Nika?
Yeah, and I was just I was mad confused. Yeah, no.
Yeah, because the real thing is that because in the next page, he's like, there's no mention of Nika. She doesn't say Nika. He doesn't think Nika. And then the next page, he's like, "Oh, you really are Kuma's daughter because you know the name of Nika."
Right? But she doesn't say the name, so yeah.
Yeah, so that was confusing.
That's a bad mistranslation.
Yeah, that was bad.
Wait,
so
who did the bad mistranslation?
Come
on. We don't even have to say Mod. You know who?
No. Okay. All right. I didn't read it actually, so I didn't know.
I'm proud of you, big dog.
I have strayed away from reading them though, because what you pointed out, YHuss. Like I'm like, this is too many. So it's like it's just
Anyway, so yeah.
But yeah, okay. So Nika, him going Nika, like, damn, bro. Okay. Bonnie.
The getting weaker thing, I think, is what Saturn starts to talk about later about like not believing in Nika as much.
Well, why do you guys she's getting weaker?
I think it's what he's talking about.
He talks about it a little bit later. Let me keep it pushing, and then we'll get to it. So yeah, Saturn does say that he sees that she knows the name, but she doesn't know what it is. And that she hasn't made the connection between Luffy's form and Nika.
Yeah.
And as he mentions Luffy, he turns to Luffy to see Luffy is stuffing his fucking face with a whole bunch of food. And nobody knows where it's come from, and he automatically orders people to put sea prism stone cuffs on him as soon as possible. Marines go to seize him. We get a random panel of Kizaru.
Is it so random?
Monitoring the incident. And
he's sitting up this time.
Right? So his position has changed.
Yep.
He's sitting kind of. We get the ... like he's kind of pondering on something. A lot of people have taken this as a sign that he is the one that used his lightning speed to drop off food to Luffy real quick.
I believe it. I 100% believe it.
Because because when we saw him earlier, he was lying down on the ground, and he couldn't, and he wasn't watching anything. Now he's sitting up against rubble, and he's like watching shit that's going down. So, I know people were saying that it's possible that it's Caribou that brought Luffy food.
True. Because he was completely forgot about him.
Because he was on the Straw Hat ship throughout everything, and it's possible that when Kizaru hit the ship, right, and the robot and the ship went flying, that Caribou got loose went on the landing, like when the barrel hit.
Well, he was loose. He was loose. He was loose.
He was loose already?
Fuck off. Yeah, Zoro said, "Yo, thanks."
Oh yeah, you're right. So they're saying it's possible that he.
Yeah, so he was already prowling. Yeah.
They stood around, and he's the one actually giving Luffy food.
I think what. I think that actually makes more sense than the Kizaru one. Honestly, I think
that's fair.
You know what?
I think it makes sense. I just don't think it makes sense how he would have dodged detection of like someone like the Gorosei, even someone like Sanji, or there's vice admirals around that didn't notice, and Caribou's a fucking scrub, respectfully.
He is, but I do think that first of all, Saturn is like
He's definitely very
Saturn,
busy.
yeah,
He's knee deep in some business right now.
yeah. Plus, on top of that, Saturn is such a big distraction. Like, you know, like he just that appearance, his power, all that stuff. It's a distraction. And then thirdly, I don't think he went undetected. I think that Caribou did show up with some food for Luffy, but the only person that saw it was Kizaru. That's why he's looking like that. Like, well, I'm not. I didn't see shit.
That's a pretty good theory. I'm not gonna lie.
I agree.
I'm not mad at
So,
That's
and
cool.
they're also saying, Callie, if you could go back a page, you could, if you look at the ground, because they were saying like it looks gooey, like kind of like his swamp, how it looks when he's in that swamp form.
Where like the
just like close up, like if you look on the
I got you. Callie, bottom left.
Yeah,
You see,
the bottom left.
You see where the second munch word is? Shout out Ice Spice.
Yeah. Like they're saying that like all that rubble looks super gooey and like more like not just rock. You know what I mean? Like it looks like it's
just dust.
I think it's just smoke. And Callie, if you go back, if you zoom out and you go like to one of the Saturn panels, actually you don't even have to go anywhere. You can see the smoke behind Saturn.
Yeah, no, that's true. I'm just pointing out what was.
Yeah, that is what people have been pointing out.
You know, so because it looks like how when he's in his swamp form, because he looks like the fucking ground. You know what I mean? So, and he's also been how he helped Luffy in the last arc with food, so it's possible that he's doing it again. Because where did Luffy get this food?
You know, I do think it's definitely possible that I think Caribou and Kizaru are the two contenders as to who gave him the food for sure. I don't know who I'm leaning towards more right now, but yeah.
You don't think? Oh, go ahead, Mod.
I was just gonna say that's a lot of food, and Caribou is like the only person I know that like can carry such large sums of food at once.
Kizaru doesn't have to carry it all, right? Because he's light speed. He can boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
A couple things at once at a time, and have a whole bouquet in there in a whole buffet there in seconds.
Because Kizaru wouldn't know how to use the machine there for food because he's been there before.
That's a big point about it, where he would know where the food is and stuff.
But how far distance? I mean, yeah, it's like okay, take that back. It's light speed, but at the same time, it's light speed, but I don't know if it's like okay. There's real life light speed, like how we think of like how light speed works in actual physics, and then there's like anime light speed. You know what I mean? Where
I think that's too deep, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I think that Oda can bend Kizaru's light speed at will to the plot.
I agree with this. That's
to go in 2 seconds and grab food and come back. He'll do that. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel anyway.
Yeah, but then why? Like, I don't know. I just think that's to me because if Kizaru's depending on Luffy basically to get up and do something with Saturn, why not also do something as well? You know what I mean? Like I get the whole cog in the machine.
I think that's kind of the point. I think that's kind of the point. If this was what Kizaru does, it's like a passive, revolution. It's like a low key way to not, because what he clearly does not want to go against the world government in a broad sense, but he doesn't want to kill Vegapunk. So if he did do it like this, it would kind of be in character in a way to like sneakily do it.
Yeah.
But not outwardly look, like he's helping.
And we've seen Kizaru have make multiple copies of himself. So, what if he sent one out, or he left that one there, or some shit?
Stuff?
I don't know, bro. It's fucking Oda. He's made out of light. Like,
hey man, maybe there's the gloves, bro. Who knows? The
photonic
gloves from the beginning of the arc.
I don't know.
It's definitely not one of the Vegapunks like doing the virtual shit nearby or some shit like that, right? You guys don't think?
I have it only down to Kizaru and Caribou.
Because it was a machine, right? Yeah, it was a machine that made the food. Yeah. So they couldn't just like do it anywhere, like, oh, give me food type of shit. So
yeah, no, it was a machine, maybe that's why it was shown right about the food machine.
Yeah.
So that we can get clarity on it later with something like this. Maybe Caribou, because Caribou can sneak around, even though he's
fodder.
Even though
fodder.
Yeah. Even though he's fodder or whatever, he has the ability to sneak around undetected. He did so in Wano a couple of times, and I could definitely see him doing that here. It's just if Kizaru moves at light speed, like remember when we thought that someone who shut off the dome or whatever at Egghead, everybody was saying it was Kizaru because he can move at light speed and stuff like that's like real life physics being applied to One Piece, and I just don't think that Oda would go that route. Like, sure, he can. I'm not saying Oda can't. This is his manga. He could do whatever. But I just don't think Oda would because Kizaru, when he moves at light speed, he's flashy about it. It's not like, perception and time just completely stops for everybody because of how fast he's going. It's like the Flash or something. When he moves at light speed, we know it because he's made of light, like literally.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah, so
and Saturn would definitely pick that up too.
Yeah, like that's why I find it hard to think that Kizaru would do that and then be back here at like several times. It can happen. I'm not saying it can't. It definitely can, but I just don't see Oda going that route. Like, I just think it's Caribou definitely because no one else in the series like gives does this except for Caribou.
It's true.
Yeah, but that's just my
I think
opinion.
it's fitting, bro. I don't think I can tell you wrong at all.
Question for you guys before we move on. Caribou is working with Blackbeard, right? Has it been
Probably.
we assume?
It's the big theory.
The assumption, yeah, it's the theory.
Is it assumption? Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Am I ready? Keep pushing.
Yeah.
Sir.
Okay. So, we got Luffy eating. People trying to seize him. Bonnie is remarking that she can't use her powers on Saturn, and then Saturn lets her know that he gave her the power. He lets us know that it was an experiment to see if an infant incapable of eating solid food could be given powers with an extract, and that it worked, but the fruit itself became worthless. So she got an extract of the devil fruit, I guess, ingested into her.
Yeah.
And it made the actual fruit itself not worth anything, just a dud. He keeps going to say that the powers allow her to transform into any future, but the more you know of reality, the narrower your future possibilities become.
Crazy.
He says.
So now we.
Well, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say now we got a better explanation of what her fruit was.
Yeah. I was gonna read it, but the next one says the same thing. But this goes back to what YHuss was saying earlier as to why her power stopped working or felt like it was getting weaker. Because he continues to go on and say that she wants to believe in Nika, but the current weakness she's feeling is evidence that she's beginning to think that he's not real, which is why her power got weaker. Supposedly, this is all just Saturn talking
going on,
as the villain,
monologuing,
right?
Yeah,
so he could very well just be trying to persuade her.
I don't think this is like the exposition on me. Like he's just like, this is Oda telling us like how it works.
So you think this is concrete?
Yeah, I just take it at face value.
Okay, that's fair.
I mean, it literally feels like you know, it's in line with what we've seen. So I believe it.
And later on in this chapter too, because of how she's feeling.
That's fair.
I could definitely see that.
He's also about to kill this bitch, so there's no real reason to lie to her.
Yeah, that's also very fair, to be honshe
I gotta remember Bonnie's a kid, dude. Holy shit.
I'm about to say YHuss. She's 12.
Fuck these kids, man.
But yeah, my bad.
real quick, I'm not gonna lie. Like, well, now we actually get answered how she got the fruit power, right? Because before we were like, how the fuck did that happen? It's because it was ingested in her when she was a baby.
Dude, I was right, but I was wrong.
Yeah, facts.
Like she didn't eat a fruit. What I was actually, I guess it's gonna be a bit later, but what I was worried about and why I didn't want her to have had the fruit when she was a kid was because I assumed that it would be her father who like fed it to her, and then I was wondering like, actually scratch that last part. What I really was worried about was that who was gonna tell us, and the only person who could tell us was gonna be Saturn. So I thought that meant he was way more involved, and then he might actually be her father. And I really didn't like that, so I didn't want to believe it, but.
I heard that too. People were saying that.
I got some news for you, buddy.
Bro, the official might dispute it. Read the official. Keep going.
Let's keep going. So, Saturn keeps going on to talk about Bonnie's father, how he believed in Nika and he wanted to save people like Nika, he then goes on to say, years later, I performed a chemical experiment on your mother, who was the 8th wife of a fellow in the Holy Land. Okay, I see.
Well, it's not him, definitely.
In the TCB translation, for those of you guys that aren't aware, in the TCB translation, this line is changed a little bit to say that I performed a chemical experiment on your mother, who was my 8th wife in the Holy Land.
Yeah, wife number 8.
Who was wife number 8, right? So it kind of insinuated that she was Saturn's wife, and that Saturn was Bonnie's father. But the official translation changes it to a fellow in the Holy Land, so it's some random no name.
We don't know, which could be maybe Figureland, maybe.
I think you just throwing darts. Bro, that was crazy.
Because we know he's. Because he's the only one that I know that's from the Holy Land. So like.
There's thousands of hundreds of celestial
it just means special dragon. Yeah, that's really all
it means. That's true.
It could be fucking anyone.
I feel like it's not important though. I don't know. I feel like to have multiple wives. I don't know. And working with Saturn.
Actually, I think like these special dragons like are. I think I said it about the Gorosei. That like I feel like these special dragons. I feel like there's like a level. Like I think the ones that aren't really in a power positions of authority are way more degenerate than the other ones. Obviously, these niggas are evil. The Gorosei are super evil, but like, it seems like they're more worried about actually like controlling the world and the power that they have. So one of these random niggas having 8 wives because of their, like their desires and their urges is like, I expect that of like a random celestial dragon rather than someone like Figarland or the Gorosei. But then again, these niggas are evil as fuck. Who knows? They could be bastards.
I mean, you're right. I feel like they care more about upholding the power that all of them have than actually divulging in like the worldly pleasures of it, right?
Yeah, that's kind of like beautiful.
Yeah. So I think I agree with that, and I think that's what the case is.
Yeah. And also, it's like a hard line to translate apparently. So I understand like there's different translations, different ways to take it. Which is, I mean, clear because all the translations we read were fucking different.
Yeah.
That's true.
So, but I've always felt that like Bonnie's, whoever the actual father is not gonna be important because like I think it's supposed to talk about how what really ruined Kuma's life is obviously Saturn, but more so the fact that such dragons have the power to do this. Like it's like a representation of how fucked up the current world is, rather than who the specific person is. You know what I mean? And obviously, Bonnie only has one dad, and it's Bartholomew Kuma, the GOAT.
I feel like a majority of, I forgot who pointed this out. I might have seen it on Twitter or something, but a majority of characters in the story that are fleshed out with backstories normally come from like a one-parent home or a two-parent home, but only one of them is relevant and important to the story. There's something to make note of.
Yeah.
So he explains that he performed experiments on Bonnie's mom, but they were a failure, and the blue blemishes showed up again, talking about the sapphire scales. And he then says, although it didn't have the desired result, and he found it curious that the same effect was passed down to Bonnie. So yeah, he reveals that everything that has happened in Bonnie's life and Kuma's life is a direct result of Saturn.
Yep.
Literally everything is a direct result of Saturn. The sapphire scales that killed Bonnie's mom, that caused Bonnie to live with Kuma, that also then caused her to develop the scales, and caused Kuma to go on this journey. Everything that's gone has gone because of Saturn, which is actually insane.
He has to die, bro. I hope he dies at the end of this arc.
He definitely needs to come up in 100%.
Yeah. Nice word choice, by the way.
I appreciate it. Vegapunk is furious, saying the same thing that I'm saying, that everything that happened, all the hardships in Kuma's life were because of him. Then Saturn drops probably one of the coldest lines I've heard so far. He says, would you bother yourself with the feelings of insects? It is impossible. I look at the TCB scan one better, but this is cool.
They cooked that. Yeah, the TCB one was way better. So look at it from my perspective.
Sometimes that flowery language be hitting a little bit harder, bro.
Fact. I completely agree with you. Said, look at it from my perspective. Do you comprehend the feelings of the insects you step on? Of course not.
Yeah.
But I also think that's a I just wanted to say just one thing. The TCB scan one, I do think is a little bit of a contradictory statement. Because when I first read this, I was just kind of looking at it like, okay, because he said, look at it from my perspective, and then said, do you comprehend the insects you step on? Of course not. My thing is that insects can't comprehend your perspective anyway. So it's just like the fact that he can, if it was the true translation, I was thinking like, okay, they can comprehend from that perspective though. So how are they still insects from that outlook of life?
Bro,
you know what I mean?
But me, bro, I'm not gonna lie, gang.
I see what you mean.
I don't see what you mean at all, bro. That was crazy, bro.
It's more like a philosophical thing. Like if you truly believe,
no facts.
Like, bro, I'm just trying to read the funny pages on the panels, bro.
but man, that's also not a TCP specific thing, right? Even just the words he says in the official, put yourself in my shoes, like that. He's kind of asking the same thing of him.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, does he expect him to know? Who knows, man?
Well,
that's why I really think the big question of like, are they really demons or whatever, which is something a lot of people believe. I really hope Celestial Dragons and the Gorosei and Imu are actually just people. I hope they're humans, because it's like it'll hit so hard when they're like torn down. It's like, nigga, you're just like us, bro. You're not sick. You're not special.
I see.
That's fair.
I see.
But yeah, so definitely an interesting line, mod. I'm actually glad you brought that up. That's kind of thought provoking.
My head damn.
Just a little bit. And also, we also noticed that something landed on the island during this whole interaction.
Yeah, the time that he's talking, something lands on the island. We know it's Kuma. But
well, one thing I want to bring up about Bonnie real quick, which 'cause I should have said it earlier when YHuss mentioned that she was a kid. With how her powers are, how it deals with like as she learns more about reality, it kind of deals with childhood, right? As you grow up and you learn more about reality, you start realizing that the things that you dreamed of doing is impossible, or and difficult, and that's like it's kind of like I like that parallel that Oda does between that and her powers and her growing up.
What's going on with y'all today, man? Why y'all getting so deep? What's today, yo? Y'all going crazy today. It's like just straight deep, thought-provoking, philosophical. It's crazy. Bro. I just want to read the cool punches and stuff. Bro. This is crazy.
Oh my bad, yeah.
No. This is what we do, right? This is like we analyze the stuff, and then like sometimes it makes parallels to real life or actual things that you have maybe read in the past or some deep shit. It's.
No, I respect it.
It's why One Piece hits so much. Like,
the different perspective you can get is definitely one of the.
Missed that. That was, bro. I'm not gonna lie. It's so, like, damn. That really is what he's trying to tell us, like, about like your dreams and becoming jaded as an adult. Like,
yeah.
Damn.
So I don't know. It didn't hit me when I first read it. It only hit me when I talked to you and Callie, you were going over it, and why you brought it up. It kind of reminded me of the story Catcher in the Rye, right? And like how.
I haven't read it. Yeah, I want to read it, so.
Oh, great story.
I'm joking. You can.
No, don't spoil it for me though. I actually want to read it. I'm a reader, bro.
I respect it. That's so real.
It deals with the person that wants to save children from adulthood, like from the horrors of adulthood and shit like that. So it kind of gave me that type of feeling that's what Oda's trying to show, because like Bonnie's still, like, even though she's seen all these things, she's still very kiddish in like what she believes in, but now that she's caught by Saturn, like even though she saw Luffy as Gear 5, she didn't connect that is Nika. So she's losing faith, like, oh, I'm gonna die, and like she's like, my father's not gonna save me, Nika's not gonna save me, who's gonna save me? But that's where the fucking goat comes in.
We'll get into that more a little bit later in this page. But
you
definitely do have a good point. I definitely see what you're saying there.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. So
thank you guys. I had to get that off my chest.
That was a nice thought.
That was dope.
Okay, yeah. So Kuma does land on the island. The Marines mistake him for a pacifista at first until they see the paws on his hands. They report this news to Saturn, who is confused as to how Kuma could be here and why the authority chip isn't working on him. We then do see Bonnie is complete disarray. She's scared. She doesn't know what to do. Fearing death right now. Staring death in the face. We then get some flashes between Bonnie's thoughts and Kuma trying his best to race to her side, taking explosions and gunshots and every weapon imaginable. As he's racing to her, she says, "Hey daddy, I think my spirit is breaking down." She is losing it. She said, "Maybe it'll be easier if I just die. I'm sorry daddy." And she just breaks down, bawling, crying. Really gruesome scene actually. We see Sanji and Vegapunk just screaming in horror. They can't do nothing to save her. We see Saturn hold Bonnie up high, and he says he's had enough of the yelling, and for the Marines to shoot her through the head. It says shoot him through the head.
Oh yeah, that's a glitch. But I will say it should definitely be her. I will say about this Bonnie, like how it's like she just cracks and it like breaks down. This panel of her crying. First off, the whole arc, this chapter, I feel like Bonnie's expressions have been drawn really, really well by Oda. Like I feel like they're so emotive.
Yeah.
Like I think it's some of his best visual work, and especially the last panel of last chapter where she's just crying at the end. I thought that was so well done. So I think this panel specifically, it reminds me of the page when Kuma learns that his mom dies, and even what she says here is, "It'll be easier if I just die." That chapter where we start the Kuma flashback is called "A World Where You're Better Off Dead," and that's him saying it would be so. As when he hears his mom die, his dad tells him, "But we have to keep going," and then he starts crying, and he says, "But why? Death would be so much easier." So I think the angle of this panel, the thought process, it's the exact same. I think it's definitely like a clear parallel that he's trying to draw to Kuma at his point where his mom died, and Bonnie right here. It's fucked up, but then Kuma the goat comes save her, so it's all good.
It's all good.
And I just also wanted to point out, like, I don't know if y'all saw this when I first read this, but I definitely saw a parallel between Bonnie right here and Robin's "I Want to Live" moment.
Yeah,
it's even drawn in a way that definitely reminds me of it. But the parallel is, Robin as a child was demonized all the way up to adulthood, and she wanted to die at first, but then wanted to live. Whereas Bonnie was saved throughout her childhood and was protected at all costs through multiple parties such as Vegapunk, her father,
the island
etc.,
people,
etc.
Yeah.
But now she's at a point as a quote unquote adult, but still a child, saying that I want to die. And I thought that that's actually pretty interesting reverse parallel here.
Man, I like that. Yeah, no, that's nice. It's a good pickup.
Yeah,
it's a great pickup.
Good stuff.
That's why they said it was this incident's comparable to O'Hara, and then that's when it's like it just all started to pick up for me, like on that. I'm like, shit, this is actually crazy.
This is,
and in the world government, that's the problem too.
Yeah.
All right. Fair, good stuff. Yeah. So Saturn is holding Bonnie up, telling the Marines to shoot her through the head, but lo and behold, here comes Daddy Kuma to save the day. Beams, ultralight beams, both the Marines that were about to shoot Bonnie. Saturn sees this and throws Bonnie on the ground to try and step on her. She apologizes to her dad after all that and says, "After all you did for me." But before Saturn can crush Bonnie, we see a paw, and we see the goat himself, Kuma, just completely tank the Saturn foot to the back, and save his daughter.
Oh.
He then pulls Saturn's leg out of his back, holds him in place, and then sends a hockey-coated fist straight towards Saturn's face, and that's how.
That's so tough, bro.
That panel with Saturn with Kuma about to point Saturn is fire. This whole page is fire.
This whole page is fire.
So I think a lot of us assumed Kuma was coming here, right? I think
a
lot of us assumed this is where Kuma was coming. He finally makes it, the nick of time. He does save the day. I don't remember I don't remember. I don't remember how many of us. Maybe you guys can remember who said it. If said that Kuma was gonna be the one to come save the day in this particular scenario.
I know I was under the impression that would be the case, but it felt too obvious.
Yeah.
I remember we had mentioned that before, that it felt too obvious that it would be Kuma.
Yeah,
or we thought that it would have been the giant robot.
Yeah,
right?
that was the other one. You're right. That was the other ones that we thought the giant robot might come into play.
I remember believing because I remember we were talking about like what happens immediately after the flashback, and I brought up that like the flashback is here because of moments like this. Like it's gonna make it hit so hard.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely think like a lot of us just believed it. Because yeah, like Miss said, it seems like the obvious thing. Like he's on his way. This is his fucking daughter, and this is the guy that, especially in this chapter, we learn like this nigga was really behind everything. Like this guy was ruining their lives from jump. So yeah, it just feels right, man.
Yeah, no, it was definitely done very well. This page hit me like a truck.
Yeah.
Watching Kuma come through and save the day, and then send this fist flying. This was beautiful stuff right here, man. And, and like you said, I definitely think that this coming right off of the height of the flashback definitely amplifies the situation and makes you feel it that much more when Kuma comes to the rescue.
1,000%. You guys think this punch is about to? Like, what do you guys think happens?
I don't think this punch is landing.
Word.
I don't think so. I think that if it was gonna land, that order would have just shown it. I don't think that's the only reason why he would cut it for the next chapter.
This nigga about to hit him with a Dempsey roll, bro. It's about to be a combo of a lifetime. Next chapter.
I hope so.
Like 5 pages just thumping him sneaking up.
I hope so.
I feel like, I don't know if you guys agree with this. I feel like it would hit 20 times harder if he ended it with a fat ass punch to the face now, as opposed to starting the next chapter with a combo. It's still gonna hit because Saturn deserves it, but I don't think it'll hit as hard.
I mean, I think his strongest play is taking all his pain and destroying him with like an Ursus shock or like the pain bubble or whatever. I feel like the punch isn't even his strongest move. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, a punch would be.
I think that also adds credence to why it wouldn't hit, because it's a meaningless punch. This isn't what he's really trying to do. This isn't gonna really do nothing to Saturn, so. I'm
telling you, I just think if like the level of hype, if it was literally just like a few pages of him just wailing on this nigga, and then he just takes all his pain out, drops it on this nigga, just has him in agony, bro, that would be so fucking hype.
That would be hype. 100%. That would be hype.
I'm hoping that's what happens. I think the page after. Go ahead, Mister. I'm gonna switch.
No, I was gonna say I hope that's how we get like the ending of the next chapter is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like we get the payoff of whatever happens, because I do think Kelly, you're right, that he's gonna miss, or something's gonna stop this punch from connecting. But we'll see. I'm excited, bro.
It's gonna be nuts. But I think like what I really like is that like I feel like this page and the last page, I feel like the action is so smooth. Like if you go back to the last page, I feel like from the point where he says like shoot Bonnie through the head, the action is just so precise. They line up. Kuma smokes them. Panel to panel, everything's happening. They all get smoked, and the next panel is Saturn just taking it in, just like and
throws it to the ground. Yeah.
No words. Throws the bitch to the ground.
I'll
do it myself. He's about to stab, bro. It's just I feel like it's such a sick action page. It's really, bro. This shit is fire, man.
Hey guys, I just thought of something. That's a hockey infused punch, right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So, Please, let's hear this, bro.
He's there.
There's no way. Yeah, baby. There's no way I can get around it. He has to be there.
He has to be.
No,
hockey.
I agree. Go ahead.
Yeah, like hockey is literally the definition of it in One Piece is like it's something that all living things can use, right?
A manifestation of will, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
even a more specific way to say it.
Yeah, manifestation of will. So he's there, like just straight up.
And I think the like more credence to it is that when we get back to this situation, like after Bonnie sees the flashback, at the beginning of this chapter, like page 3, the first thing Saturn says is your father's dead, and the end of the chapter is him using hockey, which shows that I'm here, my nigga. My will is here, and I can do it whenever I want. Literally the first thing he says, your father Kuma is dead, and it's like, nah, the chapter ends like that's not true. So
he's right here. Hi.
So why do you think that is the case? Because even Vegapunk is perplexed, right?
Yeah,
'Cause
that's a
he's
great point. I'm glad you brought that up. Vegapunk, when he hears that Kuma's here, he's like, Kuma, why? So that kind of like makes it hard to believe that Vegapunk had any sort of hand.
Because
yeah,
I thought like
that's a good point.
because I thought, and then they also mentioned the authority chip isn't working. I thought maybe what if the thing that he gave her was an authority chip for Kuma, but I was like, but Gorosei supersedes the authority chip anyway, right? So I don't think that could be the case.
And even then, like he moves before she gets contact with the necklace. He moves like the day
Yeah,
before.
exactly. Agreed.
I need Kuma to save Bonnie. I need Bonnie to be like, why are you here? How did you know I was here? How did you save me? And I need Kuma to turn around, look at Bonnie, and say, a father's love knows no bounds. And then just start beating the
Yo,
fuck
Kyle,
out
you
of
right.
Saturn, bro.
You right. Oh my god, that'd be beautiful.
That would be
I
insane.
don't even need a technical explanation or nothing. If he just says some shit like that, I'm good. That's fine.
Kyle, you're a real ass nigga. Fuck explanations. We here, bro. That's not
Like, no cap, bro.
Yo,
Just give me that
are you
feel-good narrative,
are you
bro.
co-writing? Are you co-writing One Piece or Oda?
That'd be beautiful.
That was good. That is good, and it makes so much sense in a whatchamacallit, in a metaphorical way too, because this dude literally leaped bounds to get to her, literally. So yeah, that would be goated if Oda did anything like that. Like, it's just straight up.
Would definitely be sick. Just give me the feel good narrative, man.
That's all I care about, bro.
Like, I'm already feeling great at seeing Kuma do this. Like, I need my guy to solidify his place in my top 5 here. I can't cap.
I mean, we also see Luffy like getting food up. So
we forgot about Luffy. We haven't seen him since he was eating food, so we don't even know. Did the Marines that were trying to capture him switch their target to Kuma? That's a possibility, right?
Possibly.
Yeah.
Or yeah, maybe. I mean, there's enough. How many Marines are there? There's like,
there's a lot.
I know there's a fledgling, like a little fledgling amount, because the ones below Rear Admiral are gone, right?
Right.
So it's like yeah. So it can't be like that many, right? Like, just in the grand scheme of things, in comparison, because there's no way that like there are like 1,000 rear admirals there, just right now. So yeah, it's probably them. They probably like, shot at Kuma or whatever, probably try to stop him or whatever.
So aside from that, so what else do you guys think that could be part of me thinks that he's still like around because of her reality powers. Like, she just kept believing like my dad's still alive, you know what I mean? And like that will, like, maybe because we've talked about will in the world of One Piece before, and like that shit gets passed on, and like what if like that just kept him going, you know what I mean? Like, and brought him back, even though everything was done like how Saturn said, but something, that's why they brought up the whole will thing, like in the beginning of Egghead, how like you can't change one's will, like even if you like an adamant shark, this robotic shark still has the instincts of a shark. Like Kuma, even though he was changed, he's always going to have that instinct to protect his fucking daughter, and like
True,
no matter what was changed, like, so
yeah, that was my line of thinking too. I think you're spinning, like, absolutely. I think Kuma is going off the instincts of a protective father. I think that's what's happening right here. Something about it. Well, what would be crazy? It would be crazy if Kuma had future sight, and so he saw a future where Bonnie was in trouble. Yeah,
he had even more future sight than Shanks, bro. Fucking years ahead.
Yeah. Bruh, and then that's why he got to moving or something like that.
You're joking, but that would be a cool parallel to
that would be cool
to Bonnie's seeing the future, because she doesn't technically have future sight, but she sees alternate futures herself through her devil fruit. So I think that'd be a cool
parallel. You know what? Since you said that, what if the timing was that he started going when she first touched the bubble? Because like he felt like it brought him back, because like his last memory was intact, and it was his daughter that touched it, like Like, was the only one, and
It
then
was after he started running.
it started. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
all right.
I'm about to say it was.
Sucks.
Yeah.
Jesus,
Right
I can't.
before.
I hope we find out when.
Yeah, I really need the answer to that. Like, even though I said like, fuck the explanation, like I really do need the answer to that. Like,
I was definitely half joking. I do want to know exactly what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
Like that precisely. Like, what triggered Kuma? Like, what information did he somehow access that said I need to go help Bonnie? Like,
Right.
what? How? You know?
Yeah, I remember the one time we thought it was her getting scared from the bugs. Yeah,
It was that
and she passed out.
That's why we said it.
You know, so
Mhm.
but I don't know. Well,
Who
you know,
fucking knows, man?
only
But,
time we'll find out.
now that Luffy's getting back up, I'm losing faith in who actually ends up defeating Saturn. I think Luffy might actually get the dub in the end. Like,
No,
after Kuma weakens him,
combo attack between the two, bro.
or like him and Bonnie.
Oh,
No,
Shikama's was frozen, by the way, bro.
Oh,
Oh,
him and
word?
Bonnie.
Wow.
That would be actually fantastic. Kuma takes the hit, right, and then both here comes Bonnie and Luffy, both the people that Kuma put his legacy and everything towards, take out Saturn at once.
Yeah.
That would actually be sick. I was thinking more of Kuma and Luffy, but I kind of like the Luffy Bonnie one because that would mean a lot more for Bonnie.
Absolutely, bro. The goat man.
Yeah.
I still think ultimately Luffy has to be involved because he's like the embodiment of Nika.
For sure. Yeah. I'm just wondering if they give him the last hit, you know, like, oh, like Luffy defeated Saturn, it's the big news or whatever.
Yeah, but I mean, I can also see at this point because I remember years ago when the idea of Kuma versus Kaido happened and no one could fathom that Luffy was going to fight Kaido by 1v1, and so we all thought like it's a team effort. So I wouldn't put it past Oda to do the same thing here if he feels like Luffy's ready to take on Saturn. So yeah, I can see that. Plus, on top of that, we need Bonnie to believe in Nika again. So I can see that.
Yeah, Bonnie 100% has to see Nika. So does Kuma, to be honest. I think Kuma probably deserves it more than Bonnie, if we're being honest.
Agreed. You know what would be sick, right? Kuma sees Luffy as Nika, says he's real, like you're really Nika or some shit like that, right? And then Bonnie, like her powers kick in again because she realized, she makes the connection, and then you see like a double Nika attack on fucking Saturn or some shit like that, bro. Like,
you know what? I could definitely see her, because if we're taking what Saturn said at face value, that her power is fueled by her beliefs.
Yeah.
In reality, I could definitely see if her seeing Luffy as Nika, powering up her Nika form, her fake Nika form or whatever, for sure. That'd be sick. That would be sick.
Yeah.
Imagine and then she full-fledged goes Bonnie gear fit.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing. She was gonna have the same thing over her and everything,
then she has one of the most OP devil fruits out there, because
her fruit is nuts.
She could believe in any fruit at that point, no, and then just transform into those powers. Does it have to be like an ideal, or like? Well, we don't really
I feel
know,
like.
Right?
Yeah, but I feel like it's still going to be limited to what she can imagine or what's like, because if it's closer to reality, right, it's more defined at that point, right? Because you can't like imagine Nika as something completely different once you know Nika is right in front of you, right?
So you know what? Yeah, I agree. That might end up working against her fruit. If she's believing in Nika, she doesn't know Nika to be true. But if the reality is that Nika is true and that the Nika is in front of her, she can no longer imagine her reality as being Nika, because the reality is he's right here.
Yeah.
But I think that might not like line up with what Saturn was trying to say, because I think in his own brain he even said like, after seeing that Bonnie's fruit was weakening, he's like, she hasn't realized that the connection between Luffy's Nika form and
her idea of Nika.
Yeah, and Nika's existence. Yeah. And that prompted him to tell her that that's why her power is weakening. And I think that kind of implies that if she knew Luffy was Nika, her faith in Nika would be reignited, and she could still use turn into Nika because she knows he's real. I don't think it would take away it being a possibility of her, because how does she know how Luffy became Nika? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I don't think we have the the evidence to say that she can't do it just because she knows someone else is Nika. You know what I mean? I think the more important part is if Nika's real or not.
That's fair. That's fair. But we're going off, and this is why I can't. I really don't even want to take everything Saturn said as face value, because we're going off somebody who's trying to break Bonnie's will.
True.
You know
true.
what I mean? So like,
that's true. That's facts.
I don't know.
Another interesting part about that scene where he's talking to Bonnie is that Bonnie tries to use her powers on him, but she can't. And there's probably like a lot of reasons. It could be his very strong hockey. It could be that he negates devil fruits, which I don't believe, because obviously she used the Nika fruit in her while she was in his hands. But I think a really cool thing is that I heard is that what if she did use her powers on him, but he simply can't age because of the immortality surgery.
That's true. That would actually
I thought
make
that
sense.
was so cool. That was like a little hint.
True. I mean, I think that would be interesting too.
I think that's definitely a possibility. I can see that.
Yeah.
Man, so good. One thing that I could think of is like it's just hitting me now, but like the fact that like what makes Luffy and Nika such like a perfect Nika, because he's still very childlike, even though he's been through a lot, but his nature's very childlike, and he has the imagination, right? That's where the whole he could go crazy with the Nika form with Gear 5. And I feel like because Bonnie's still a child, like Saturn's trying to break that, like trying to break her, like we're seeing, but like once she realizes that Luffy is Nika and like it's real, it's gonna like amplify her powers even more, because that imagination is gonna go rampant. You know what I mean? And I feel like she's gonna realize that like her powers reality bending in a way, because it's crazy what she's able to do.
I think she really has the thing people think Luffy has. They really just bend reality. She actually could just.
I think that's what she has, and like, we're gonna see a showcasing of that soon.
Yeah, man. It's action time, man. No more exposition, no more knowledge.
Yeah, we just need to just see it happening for sure.
It's tight, man. And
man,
we're like halfway through the little break we had, so next chapter a week after this one. So we out here.
Yeah. Any last questions, comments, concerns? About to wrap it up.
I think that's it, man.
Yes, sir.
Definitely peak. This is my favorite chapter of last year, even though it's not technically last year. So it's my favorite chapter of this year so far. Fuck it, we out here. We are on break next week, so we won't be back with another chapter review for another 2 weeks, but we still got a lot more One Piece content planned. So make sure you guys follow us on all our socials. Sitdown on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube. You look for us, you will find us. We are 6 chapters away from 100 episodes, baby. We almost there. We got some really exciting things planned, so make sure you guys stay tuned. Follow all the socials so you guys can stay up to date with all the Sit-Down shenanigans. I think that's it.
Yes, sir.
That's it. All right. We hope you guys enjoyed. We'll be back next time with some more content. Until then, you guys take it easy, be safe, be healthy. We appreciate you guys, and we will see y'all when we see y'all. Peace, peace, peace.
Peace, y'all.
Peace. Later.
Who gon' get down? We are. This that Strawhat sit down. We are. Who the crew with the fleet? We are. Who gon' piece that one piece? We are. Who gon' get down? We are. This that Strawhat sit down. We are. Who the crew with the fleet? We are. Who gon' piece that one piece? We are. Strawhat sit down crew in the building. We Corona to these other podcasts. We gon' put these people in their feelings when they hear this, and they know that they can't top this. We spit facts and we poppin' every time an episode is dropping. We see D3 in the corner, Mister, that's a real G with the green screen in the background. Got him looking like he in a real scene. We got Big Mod in the cut. Always ready with rebuttals, but he bring the knowledge when we in the huddle, so you know the crew is never gonna fumble. And it's YHuss, last but not least. If you ask me, then Cali, mad the captain, make him rally around me. Every Sunday we gon' run deep, and we can't stop until we find out about that one piece. Who gon' get down? We are. This that Strawhat sit down. We are. Who the crew the fleet? We are. Who gon' piece that one piece? We are. Ay, who gon' get down? We are. This that straw hat, sit down. We are. Who the crew with the fleet? We are. Who gon' piece that one?